Everyone. It's amazing. It is amazing. It's a wonderful time. I'm very happy to have everyone. If this is your first time on Career Space, you're very much welcome. My name is Lydia Ngabire, and I'm a labor market matching specialist, also the host of Career Space sessions here at RDB. Please, I know we have lots of people already joining us. Welcome. We will be having a wonderful session today. We're learning about how to train for global, how you can find training in an IT space and find global work. Now, as always, how we do it on this show, please comment, let us know where you are. Personally, I'm always here in Kigali, and I welcome everyone from whatever city you're in, whatever country. Personally, here in Kigali, Rwanda, and I'm always excited to bring you the latest opportunities for your economic growth, for your learning, opportunities for for you to get a job, either to make partnership or to really something to bring you to your development. That's what I do. Now, in today's session, I welcome everyone. I know we have different students who are really excited to hear about this session. Students from UR, RP, University of Kigali, anywhere you are. If you're a student and you're in Kigali, please let me know so that I know that you're here and that your career advisor passed on the information so that you don't miss any opportunity for you to get information that we always provide. Now, we've been running these sessions in different formats and forms. If you follow any of our media platforms, that's a Skills Rwanda YouTube channel, Skills Rwanda Facebook, Skills Rwanda on Twitter, and on LinkedIn and RDB platforms, you know that we always have these sessions to provide, career information, development information. Sometimes it's more of business knowledge, career knowledge, training opportunities, employment opportunities, where you can find someone to help you with your CV, writing your resume, cover letter, applying. We've done different sessions. So if you're on YouTube, you can actually see the sessions that we've done previously, and you can join on do those sessions. We would be you will learn so many things. We've had different HR practitioners share tips and ways you can be an effective professional, or as a student, as in a way, how do you advance in your career? Where do you get the help that you need? If you're looking for someone to have a review on your CV, are there free opportunities, free chances for you to take advantage of that? Now, today we're going to have an interesting conversation because we're talking to 10 Academy. Those who do not know 10 Academy, you're going to learn about it very quickly. But the most interesting thing about 10 Academy and why we invited them here is because they provide training opportunities, especially in IT fields. Uh, and they do not just train. After the training, they walk you through the journey of finding a global opportunity, a career, and especially remote. So you could be here in Rwanda and then you find a job, let's say in Argentina. I don't know, maybe. But they do have that global coverage, and so they help you. They not only train you, they also walk the journey with you to finding employment. Now, I'm not going to spill all the tea, like my friends say. I'm going to welcome my guests today, and they're going to be telling us what is 10 Academy, what do they do, what these trainings, when do they start, when can we apply for them. And for those of you who are on our YouTube channel, just below our session, I'm going to add a link on where you can apply, uh, on how you can apply for this training. So again, a more reason to stay on our YouTube channel because so many activities pass by. So on the Skills Rwanda YouTube channel, just down below in the description box on this session, we're going to add a link for the application to this training opportunity. Now, it's time. I'm going to welcome my two wonderful guests today, and they're going to tell us about themselves, and then we dive into the session. So please do not get distracted. Grab a bottle of water and sit tight. And if you have any questions, be it in the middle of the session or after, because we're going to have a session and then we always have time for Q&A. So you will pass the questions in the comment section. Please tell us, is it making sense or is it not making sense? And we'll be sharing more information. So allow me to welcome Arun. Arun, welcome to the show. Say hello to the team.
Hi, everyone. Good morning. Good afternoon.
Yeah, so that's Arun. Hey, Everest.
Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. And I'm so happy to see that people are joining. My name is Everest Nizeyimana. I'm an operations manager at TN Academy. Great to be here.
Thank you. He just even introduced himself, which is really good. Operations. That's our Everest operations manager at TN Academy. Arun, would you mind introducing yourself?
Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't introduce myself so well. So my name is Arun Sharma, and I'm learning from Everest about how one introduces themselves. So I'm one of the co-founders and currently managing director of TN Academy.
Great. Co-founder and managing director of TN Academy. So I want us to get into the presentation and questions. What is TN Academy? Do we want to put up the presentation? Yes?
Yes, we do.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
Perfect, yeah.
It's right here.
So Everest, do you want to walk through and then I can chip in?
Yeah, sure, Aaron. Thank you. So welcome, everyone. So we are so excited to get through this process and let you know about TN Academy. And we are so excited to have Rwandan graduates on this call, on this podcast. And as I introduced myself, I'm Everest Nizeyimana. I'm going to take you through this presentation. You learn about TN Academy, you learn what we do, and you will get a chance to ask questions. And we want to make this as discussion as very possible because we need to hear as many questions as possible instead of me presenting. So note your questions, type your questions into the comment sections. We'll be answering them. So as you can see the slide, so what is TN Academy? So it's training program that occurs every year, and it can have more batches, more sessions across there. So we help recent graduates, university graduates from Africa, be ready for their career for as machine learning engineers, data engineers, and also Web3 engineers. So as you can see on the slides, the trainings are 3 months long, but there are extra 3 months for job support. So it's 3 months supported job search phases. So what does this mean? So we train you to be ready for these 3 jobs careers. Then we help you know what needs to be achieved or what are the requirements you need to get to be global level job ready. So one of the outcomes that you can see, so we have currently graduated 4 batches, and these open applications are for batch 5. So as you can see on the slide, 90% of our TN academic graduates are working as machine learning engineers, data engineers. So the Web3 is the new one. So, and we hope that in the batch 5, we'll be having people who graduate and get jobs as Web3 engineers. So as you can see the statistics that we have done, researches that we have conducted across university graduates across the African countries, it shows that our alumni are earning 3 times than their peers who have graduated at the same time, and we place them as quick as possible. almost 7 times faster than their peers get jobs. So another thing that I can also add is that our alumni are working remotely. And of course, the trainings is remote. So you have to be ready to attend remotely and get trained remotely. So it also prepares you to work remotely. So you know that these fields are on high demand, and that data engineering is on high demand, machine learning is on high demand, and so the jobs are available across the world, and most of them are available remotely. So this is just a picture. This is a picture of where our alumni are working from. So as you can see, we have people working on North America, Africa, and Europe. So I will just go through as quick as this. And allow me to take you through our batch 5, which is the upcoming batch of training. And the applications are now open. They are open from April 1 and also to end 17th April. So it means we have a few days to go. So we are on 6th. So it means we have 11 days remaining towards the application close date. So after that, we go through selections, which is the application is, we want to make the application as easy as possible for the applicants, but the intensive part of our selections is the selection part from 19th April to 7th May, where we go through challenges. When you are shortlisted, you will go through challenges to showcase your ability in terms of the prerequisite and requirements, which I will present moving forward. And also those who will make it through the training will be welcome to attend training on May 9th to 29th July. These are 3 months period. Then when you graduate, when you are ready to get to start applying for the jobs, we work with you during 3 months extra to make you ready for the jobs. That's why you are applying. So you're doing your capstone projects, and also you are improving your knowledge and skills to be excellent when you get a job. So this is an overview of how the week looks like at 10 Academy when we are training. So you see that it's all about challenges. There is always a weekly challenge. The weekly challenge helps you achieve a certain competence and skill level. So we designed this so that it meets all the standards, and the challenges are well designed by industry experts. So the training goes especially on Sunday. You get a challenge, the challenge which we work through during a week. When the challenge is reached, we expect a trainee to have some milestones in the midweek. So, and through every day, we have stand-ups, we have the Q&A sessions, we have the community which support our trainees, where they can get answers to their questions in no more than 5 minutes. So it means the training is very engaging with the experts and also other community managers, tutors. So we have guest talks. So where like we invite the experts in the industries to share the insights with our trainees. So from there, they get to learn every day what they need to achieve in order to be more successful when they get into the artificial intelligence job, AI, or also Web3. So you can see we have daily community sessions and also guest talks. Well, so on this slide, it's all about what we do to prepare our trainees for the jobs. So the trainees mostly get feedbacks when they are submitted. They submit their challenges. They get feedbacks. They work on their challenges. They make them very clear. So when they can present to the employers will get interested and impressed by their work. So another thing that I can add, it's you can know that getting a job in these fields, either artificial intelligence, that I mean data engineering, machine learning, and also Web3 is really a complex process. It's not easy for everyone to get a job in this industry. But what we do as a 10 Academy is to take someone who is graduating from university with no work experience and offer 3 months intensive program of training program, so that that person will be like on the level of someone in 2 to 3 years of experience, someone who can compete with global other job seekers and to get jobs and work as a machine learning engineer, data engineer, and Web3 engineer. These are just competencies that I talked about before. We measure this closely when we are training. So they are distributed into 4 categories. One is career, other is AI, the artificial intelligence, software engineering, and also Web3. So, and these competencies can be are also available on our website. So which we will probably share with everyone on this call, so that they can go through them. So I can skim through them, but on career we have like being professional in global level jobs, because to succeed in a work, everybody needs to be professional and also comprise with what is the values that their employers are expecting to have. So like one in AI is like data and analytics engineering. So we also equip our trainees with Python programming and also SQL programming. And on the Web3, we have building smart contracts. These are the almost 12 competencies which are linked into so many knowledge areas that every trainee goes through and needs to have before they get job ready. So as I talked before, there are prerequisites that we require for someone to be ready to apply and to be ready to succeed and excel in our training. So to be able to apply, you need to have some basic background in Python, SQL, statistics, and linear algebra. So even though we don't limit our opportunities to people from STEM background, so we as long as someone is motivated and someone is hungry and has worked extra mile to have some basic backgrounds, either learning independently or attending some training courses, online courses, to have basic Python, SQL, statistics, and linear algebra, everybody is welcome to apply for this opportunity. And of course, you understand that we train African nationals. So you need to be from Africa to attend this training, and you have to be full-time available. So I will try to emphasize on this. Being full-time available means our training are so intensive and requires you to be full-time, so you don't need to have extra jobs or side works or side studies. So you need to dedicate your time, because the training you need to keep up with the training. So you also, because the trainings are online, so you need to access the challenges, you need to attend the sessions, you need to attend other tutorials. So we expect that someone who is dedicated to our training to be having to have data for being able to attend. Like we estimated 15 gigabytes per month for someone to be ready to attend this training online, free online. So of course, yeah, you need to have a laptop that is with you every day. So where you will be working on challenges and also working with the other peers. So the prerequisites, that the above prerequisites are one of the requirements, and of course, they are the ones which we emphasize on, because what we do mostly is to help. Our aim is to get people into work, not just training. Training is one thing, but we train you to be ready for the job. That's why we require these basic background in Python, SQL, statistics, and linear algebra. So again, you are motivated and you are hungry for the jobs in the field of AI and also Web3. So these are the exciting news. You can see that we have some alumni from Rwanda, Janet, and other alumni from Nigeria, from Tunisia, Ethiopia. These are great opportunity for someone who is working with other people across Africa. So they get to learn about diversity. They get to learn how to work people in remote environment. So, and these the testimonials can also be found on our website, which we will share, and people can visit our website, and you will get impressed and get attracted to our program. So I will walk through the some of the team that help us go through towards our missions. So we have Technology Advisory Council, so who help us to be even to design the challenges and also map out the competencies and the skills required. And all of these are working in the industry. I mean the industry of artificial intelligence and also Web3. So these are the ones who help us every day to modify the content, to improve the content, and also equip with our trainees with necessary skills and competencies required. So you can be asking why artificial intelligence or Web3. So Lydia, can you just zoom? Yeah, thank you. So why AI or Web3? So as I told you before, these are the on-demand skills or jobs that are on our planet, and most of them are accessible remotely. So someone can be sitting in Kigali working with the company based in New York, based in Berlin, based in Asia or any part of the world, and the volume of these works or jobs are on high demand. So another thing is these are the skills or the skills the skills in the industries of technology where someone can dedicate their 3 to 6 months and get to the level of someone who is with 2 to 3 years of experience. So, and 10 Academy is easy to manage this and help a trainee to get there. So, as told you, 1,000 jobs are available online, and also the impact that someone from this industry can make is very huge. It means as the skills in these industries are very highly on demand, someone can join us on an entry job. After 3 years of experience, that person will be leading the teams in the industry and will be probably implementing their own AI implementations that can be beneficial to the continent, to their countries, and also to the world. It can be probably in any fields, probably agriculture, education, or other overarching fields. So the questions that probably I think many people will have in their mind: what's the cost of this? What's the cost of this training? So the training, as you can see, the application is free. You apply, you send your application. So we review your application, and we don't charge anything when you are applying. So when you get through the training, we welcome the trainees who made it to the week 1 and 2 until week 4. So during this training, we want to make sure that you understand that you're ready for these fields. So sometimes people on this period, they haven't decided whether to continue or not. So means on this stage, 4 weeks, we don't charge anything. When you are admitted to week 5 and also to graduate from your training, so there is a registration fee. of 100 US dollars. So, and these are the contribution fees which help us run the next trainings. For example, the trainings that we are going to conduct has been contributed by the paid forward. We call it paid forward contribution from trainees who are working, trainees from batch 4. So it's recursive like that because we are not non-profit registered organization. So we make sure that the trainings are run by the contribution of the previous graduates who are working. So when you get a job, so a job pay the job that pays you above 500 US dollars, so you are required to pay the 900 US dollars in installments model. So you are allowed to pay this as you are working. You pay in installments, 1, 2, 3 installments as you wish. So we also discuss with and we have agreements with the trainee before aiming to the installments they will be paying back.
Everest, I just want us to pause here just for a moment so that if you can go back to that slide. Cost is a really important part because so many people are asking, is this really free? So ndashaka kugira ngo ubisobanure neza mu Kinyarwanda abantu babisobanukirwe kugira ngo bisobanuke.
Okay, urakoze cyane Lydia. Reka mbisobanure mu Kinyarwanda. So Arun, you will probably be sorry for us, but I know you probably understand.
My Kenya Rwanda is still a work in progress. Please go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay.
Murakoze.
Murakoze cyane. Yeah. Training nari ndi gusobanura uburyo ihagaze mu bijyanye n'imyishyurire cyangwa se abivuga se training ziri free turaza twatending training. Nari nasobanuye yuko turi non-profit organization ifasha abanyeshuri barangije mu kaminuza kugira ngo babe babona akazi muri as data engineers cyangwa se machine learning engineers cyangwa web3 engineers. Nkuko tubibona kuri slide ndi gupresenta, hari iri kwerekana uburyo training igenda ikostinga. Actually ubundi training cost yayo ni $1,000 y'abanyamerika, ariko ntago ayo mafaranga yishyurwa utarabona akazi, utaratangira gukora, kiretse $100 yishyurwa twakwadimitinze mu cyumweru cya gatanu. Hano ndahita nongera emphasizing, ntago uko abapplyinze bose baza muri training. Dukora selection, tugatanga challenges, bazipasinze ama interviews, bakaza muri training. Training itangira kuri week 1, week ya mbere cyangwa icyumweru cya mbere. Rero week 1 igera kuri week 4. Ahangaha tuba turi kureba nyine abari capable yo kurangiza training. Nawe uri muri training uri kudecidinga cyangwa se ureba koko niba ari training wakomeza ukarangiza, kuko turabizi rimwe na rimwe ushaka kuza muri training wizeye ko ibintu uzabirangiza but ukabona yuko maybe ntago wari witeguye neza kurangiza training. So muri iki gihe ntago ducharginga any coin, ntago ducharginga amafaranga ku muntu uri muri training. Ni ukuvuga ngo ubu ibiri free hano waza ugafata training, ariko mu gihe twadimitinga abantu mu cyumweru cya gatanu. Ni ukuvuga ngo abari mu cyumweru abakoze ukwezi kwa mbere, urabona n'ibyumweru 4, sinzi niba mwese muri kubibona, turebamo abafite ubushobozi bwo kujya mu cyumweru cya gatanu kugeza mu cyumweru cya 12, aribo baba bari muri training n'ubundi igomba kurangiza bya byumweru 12 twavuze, amezi 3. Kugira ngo ujye muri iyi week nyine hari agreements dukorana ukaba wishyura amadolari 100 kugira ameze nka registration fees, ahita ava muri cya gihumbi agasigara amadolari 900. Ni ukuvuga ngo iyo training uyikora kuri ya registration ufite watanze y'amadolari 100. Hanyuma iyo urangije training turagufasha tugakorana nawe nk'uko twabigaragaje ko hari ibindi byumweru 12 dukorana n'aba trainees bacu kugira ngo babe babona akazi. Hari ubona akazi nk'uko mubizi, hari ubona akazi mu cyumweru cya mbere akirangiza training, hari ubona akazi mu cyumweru cya kabiri akibona training, hari ubona akazi mu kwezi kwa kabiri. Ntabwo ariko bose bahita babona akazi, ariko twe expectinga yuko tugendeye kuri imibare dufite ya training zabanje, yuko abanyeshuri benshi babona utuzi muri aya mezi 3 twongeraho dufasha aba trainers cyangwa se aba trainees mu kubona akazi. Ndetse n'aya 6 ayo mezi 3 yarangije yandi, n'ubundi wa wundi wenda utabashije kubona ako kazi, n'ubundi dukomeza gukorana career advice reviewing their CVs cyangwa se n'izindi. So iyo ubonye akazi, so icyo tugufasha ni iki? So tukorana nawe ku buryo ubasha noneho kudecidinga bitewe n'amafaranga uhembwa. On average ubu ngubu aba trainees bacu bari kuri ku madolari 800 on average. Dukoze average kwa trainees bose maximum zigera no ku bihumbi 2500. Ariko bitewe n'amafaranga uhembwa udecidinga installments ugiye kwishyura. Installments ubwo ni ibyiciro. Ushaka kuvuga uti ngiye kwishyura ku mushahara wa mbere, nzishyura aya ngaya ku wa kabiri aya ngaya, ariko ku buryo tubyoroshya tukavuga tuti kugira byorohe uzishyura installments 4 cyange nzishyura nge Evariste nzishyura installments 4 ngabanyije kuri 900 yarasigaye. Ubwo ayo mafaranga niyo nzanishyura kugeza ndangije paid forward, icyo ariko tuyita muri Ten Academy. So keretse niba ari undi wenda ufite ikibazo, I'm very sure yuko nabashije kubisobanura neza. Kandi hari na document mwaza kubona kuri agreements cyangwa se kuri website. Muri no applying hari na document ababasha applying bari bubone mbere yo submitting applications. Please read through the agreement, read through the documents you have sent you to the application form.
Thank you so much. I think that was elaborate. For someone for this LinkedIn user who's asking what's the target audience, it's definitely Africans. But since we're hosting this session here in Rwanda, we do love our language, so we thought we could mix in some Kinyarwanda. Arun, I hope you understood what everything was said.
I know how to say training in Kinyarwanda. Training is training.
Training is training. Yes, absolutely. I thought because I thought that was really key, so that our people understand the kind of training. Yes, it's kind of free, but then you also pay it forward, and that's how the rest of the people also get to go through the training. So I'll let you go on, Everest. I think we're almost concluding.
Yeah, thank you, Lydia. We are almost done. So these are just our partners and supporters, because some of the companies where our trainees are working from. So some people know Hens Technologies, which also based in Kigali. There are some people working with Forslux, Google, Hyperbios, and other companies which couldn't probably fit on this slide. So I guess I have gone through the overview of this presentation. I think it's just time to discuss, right?
Yes,
just time to discuss. Welcome questions.
Maybe I can just jump in quickly. Lydia, you said a user was asking, who is the training really focused on? We have a very specific focus. We know that there are lots of really hungry young graduates who want to get their first work experience, and they want to get a global level job, and they're ready to work very, very hard for 3 to 6 months to get there. So that's our target audience. We're looking for people who are able. Our training is not. We have no exams. There are not really many lectures, but what we do is let you know what employers are looking for, and we will give you constant feedback to let you know what it is that you need to do to get there. You need to be ready to be an active learner. One of the examples that we always give is if you want to learn how to become very strong, you want to get a six-pack. I don't know if you know this, if you want to get really strong abdominal muscles, there's no shortcut. You need to show up every day. You need to control your diet. You have to be serious about exercise. You have to do your daily exercise. And if you do all of the 12 things that you have to do every day reliably, by the end of the 6 months, you'll get your six-pack. But there are no shortcuts. And this is what our audience is, the people who are ready to work 60 hours a week, 70 hours a week for 6 months. It's a lot of work. And the reason is because when you get to that level, you're going to be competing with people from India, from Pakistan, from Brazil, from the US. We know that our people from Rwanda and from Africa are able to do it, but they have to be ready for 60, 70 hours a week for 6 months.
Yeah, and I also know, Arun, I think you also answer this, even though I think it was mentioned. Someone asked, let me try to get to this question here. This is Munyaneza, and can't this training be taken remotely? I think we discussed that.
It's only remotely. Yeah, our training is fully online, and it's not only for Rwandans. We will have people from all over the continent. To date, we've trained people from 18 different countries. And it's a very important, our model says that just like when you get to work, you are successful when your team is successful. And in the same way, when you get into training, you will be successful when other people around you can help them and you can also learn from them. So our focus is not giving you training, our focus is getting you ready for work. And that means you have to learn to work with other people, including from different cultures and different continents. And also to use different tools and techniques. So using tools like Slack, applying online, using tools like Trello. We want to make sure that people do not only have the technical skills, but they also have, as Évariste mentioned, professional skills, communication skills, and that you can showcase all of that to external people.
Absolutely. We do have a question from Revian Wachu. Revian, all these sessions that we do are recorded and are available on RDB LinkedIn page. I can see you're watching from LinkedIn, but if you scroll through, you see the session from start to end. And if you also want to see the other sessions that we've had before, they are available on Skills Rwanda YouTube channel. So if you go to YouTube and type Skills Rwanda, you see the recorded version from start to end. And that's for everyone who hasn't joined us from start. So to make sure that you don't miss any information. All these sessions are recorded and they'll stay on these platforms for you to watch. Let me see. We do have different people. We have people from Uganda. We have people tuning in from Kenya. And I do hope, Arun, that the application is open to all these people.
It is, yeah. So we're open to the requirements, as Évariste mentioned, are pretty straightforward. We want recent university graduates, and that's flexibly defined. We want people from Africa. But the most important thing that we're looking for are people who are willing to put the time and the effort in. And that reason is that this is what we've seen leads to success in actually getting a job. And so that means that people have to be able to not have a side job. They have to be able to buy their own data. 15 gigabytes is enough, have a laptop, and participate in the training. We're also very focused on getting people into the world of work. So we've had people in the past who have said, I'm interested in doing a master's degree or a PhD, which we support, but our training is not, it's not focused on that.
Okay. So, Aaron, I want to hear from you. What can you say? Is it advisable for someone to take this kind of training if they're still a student?
It really depends on the time, and I guess that's from Muhire. I think, so what is 60 hours a week? That's 12 hours a day, 5 days a week or more. is it realistic that somebody can do that while still fulfilling his or her university obligations? I don't know if that's realistic. I think it's rather not realistic.
Yeah. Yeah. So I think if someone is still a student, let them first finish at least the course. I know for some students, when they're nearing graduation, they're done with their courses. Maybe then they have the hours to put in.
Mm-hmm. It could be, and we don't know everyone's situation. We're flexible, but this is the reason why the way we've structured it, we won't take $1 from anyone until we are convinced that we think we can get them into a job.
Yes, the job part is really important. So they're not just providing the training; you make sure that someone gets into the job in the workplace.
Yeah, and that's why we work very closely with industry, because what we've learned is we've worked with many students in the past, and we've seen a lot of trainees come to us, and they've spent a lot of time on Udemy courses, they've used YouTube courses, they've learned a lot, but industry wants part of that, but they want a lot of other things as well. They want to make sure that you understand what the deployment process looks like, what the documentation process looks like, that you can work with your colleagues to make sure that you're actually designing something that people want. Are you testing your software? Are you familiar with tools? And can you showcase this to an external audience? Because when you're competing with people from around the world, you have to make sure that you're speaking the language that the employer expects.
Absolutely.
And this is where this competency framework comes in.
Yeah. One thing I can add on the question someone asked regarding if they can still apply when they are students. So we almost always advise students to just apply just in case they feel they can graduate before the start of the training. Or it's always like this discussion. It's a great opportunity for someone to be aware of this training program and that it happens recursively across there. Someone who is in the final year and probably feels like he's not ready to join, we have other applications open. Arun, maybe if I'm not mistaken, the next batch will open in September. For that, someone, if someone is really projecting that graduations in August. So that person will focus on their studies. Then when they graduate, they will also be acquiring some prerequisites so that they can be ready for applying to the September intake. So I think that would be much safer running to applying for the training when they will not feel ready for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, yeah, Aaron, we need to touch on that. This is not a one-time opportunity. I think you guys carry out these trainings in different cohorts. If you can touch on that, so that maybe someone at this juncture, they are busy and they're not capable of joining the course now, but what are the other options? And I guess those are also available on the website. Can you enlighten on that?
Exactly. We haven't finalized the last dates or the fixed dates for the rest of 2022, but we expect to run 2 more batches for the rest of 2022. So as Everest mentioned, probably September to December will be our next batch of training. But absolutely true. I think it's important that people recognize this is our training. We expect it to continue. But the reason why we expect it to continue is that the demands from employers are increasing. It's a very strange situation. Employers globally cannot find the right people. And on the other hand, we have a huge need for jobs among motivated young people. And so our intervention is a very narrow intervention where we say, for those people who are really hungry and really motivated, we provide a pathway to get over the 2 gaps at the same time, your first job and a first global level job in a really interesting and growing field, which is machine learning, data engineering, and this year we've added Web3 and blockchain. And I think I don't know if there are any questions around what are some of the exit points and that, because I hope machine learning engineering versus data engineering versus blockchain engineering is well understood. I don't know if there are any questions around that.
I don't think they have been addressed yet, but you can go ahead and talk about it, since we still have some minutes as I
Sure.
look through any questions. And please, if you do have any questions that you wasn't addressed, that you would like us to discuss, please let us know in the chat box. We'll be happy to discuss that and answer it.
Yeah.
If you missed the start of the session, because we're now like 45 minutes in, you can always check it on the Skills Rwanda YouTube channel. It's really, it will stay there. It's recorded and you can view it at any point in time. So
Yeah. So the 3 exit careers that we have in mind, where we're preparing people very specifically for, we want people to be ready as a machine learning engineer, which is a well-defined career. And these are people who would work with different companies to take, what's an example that I can give you? Using Google Maps, for example, that they would help to deploy the routing algorithm and to make the decision on if you want to go from point A to point B. How do you work with that model and not only help to design and probably not develop it yourself, but maintain the model and serve it to a user on a mobile or a web interface? So that is one example of a mobile learning, machine learning engineer, sorry. And there are many, many use cases in different industries, from, as Everest mentioned, agriculture to education to fintech. Credit scoring is another example of machine learning engineering. There are very many different examples. Machine learning engineer is one, and that tends to be people who have a software engineering background, and we layer machine learning engineering on top of it, along with the whole tooling layer. So how do you actually test and deploy and do that in an industry standard fashion? So that's one. The second is data engineering, which is artificial intelligence demands access to data in a reliable way. And so these are people who would scrape different data from websites or build data streams into the machine learning models. Also in demand, requires a little bit less of a software engineering background. And the third, and this is very new, is Web3 or blockchain. So for those of you who have heard of Bitcoin or Ethereum, this is using blockchain or Web3 to actually deploy Web3 systems. So this is very new. It's an extremely in-demand career. It's very difficult for people anywhere to get Web3 or blockchain engineers. So those are the 3 different exit points. I want to emphasize what we are not training people for. We're not training people on software development, front-end or back-end web development, mobile application development. We're not training people to be data scientists. So we have a very specific focus, because this is where our offer is that within 3 to 6 months that you will be ready for a job, and we believe that you will actually get a job, even if we cannot guarantee that. And that's why we have to be very narrow in what we're able to promise. I just wanted to add one more point as well on cost. Our goal has been to develop a program where the cost of training is less than 2 months of your salary. And so even if the number $1,000 may seem high, it may seem low, but it's less than 2 months of the salary that we will expect you to have. And if you are earning less, as Everest I'm sure mentioned when he was speaking in Kenya, Rwanda, if you don't get placed into work, earning a good salary, then we don't ask you to pay.
I think you will need to repeat that so that they get it.
So if you don't get placed into a job where you are earning $500 a month or more, then you don't pay. There is the one as well. I should preface that after 1 month, there is a $100 fee, and the rest of the $900 you only pay if you get placed into work.
Great. Now I will try my best to repeat it in our nation's language. So nuvuga ngo iyo bamaze kuguhugura ubwo ya madolari 900 asigaye ugenda uyishyira mu byiciro, ariko kugira ngo uyishyure ugomba kuba at least ufite akazi kaguhemba amafaranga 500 kuzamuka. Everest, did I do it good? I think I got it right. Yes. So you hear it's a great opportunity. If you have money, if you're being paid below that, I don't know where we're having a bit of echoes. No, I'm saying if you're getting paid below 500 US dollars, which is 500,000 Rwanda francs, you don't pay until you have a job that pays more than that, which I think is a fantastic. I know someone asked if they cannot find their $100 fee. I think you're on mute.
Am I still on mute?
You're off
Okay.
mute. Yeah.
Okay. So we will do our best to make arrangements for anyone who's not able to manage, but in practice, it's not only the $100 fee, but it's reliable access to internet, which is also required. So I would encourage everyone to apply, but just to recognize that it's very important. There's something we can't cater for all needs. So, for example, when it comes time for a job interview with a company based somewhere in the world, you also have to be ready. Your internet has to work. You need to be in a quiet place. And so I would ask the question, is that person ready? Do they have the systems in place where they are ready for a global level job? Because we do expect that you have a laptop, you are able to buy your data, and you're able to focus only on this for 6 months.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think
I'm sorry to interrupt. If that's the only barrier, this actual paying of cash, then I'm sure we can find a way. But some of our most successful past graduates, what they did was to move in with a friend, an uncle, to find a reliable office space and go hide in a corner and just work. Or to find a librarian that would let them be there and have constant access to internet, or maybe make a deal with a university to go and work from there, because one does have to have those that infrastructure in place.
Yes. So it's really important. Let me just paraphrase this. It's really important that you have access to internet, because again, you're going to take these trainings online. So it means you need stable internet, and also the kind of work that you're expected to get after the training is also going to be remote. So you also need internet to carry out the work. So internet is a key thing, and I also think that our country is really working hard to make sure we have internet access. So I see if you're able to have internet, I think you can devise a way of finding that 100 fee. And someone asked here that, yeah, Fred asked, yeah.
So Fred, we will ask you, you would only pay the $100 after 1 month. And that's only if we are convinced that you will match into work. Fred, you can look at this in another way. We're giving you a loan of $900. And so we want to be sure that you are ready, or others like you are ready. To an extent, the training has a certain cost. We have actual costs that we pay Amazon for AWS, we pay tutors, we pay our staff. And so we're giving you a loan, and we would only give that loan if we are convinced that you are likely to have the means to pay us back.
Absolutely.
So we're making an investment into you. To an extent, we're giving you that loan. Actually, and to a large extent, we're giving you a loan.
Absolutely. That's so true. I think this is so, Aaron, I know we've talked before, and you've said what ongoing on Bora's question. I know we've talked, and you said one of your best performers didn't actually have an IT background. Is that still true?
Yes, that's absolutely true. He came in with an English background. He was a Nigerian graduate. But what I would say to Bora is that it can be recommended, but there is a lot to learn. What is the end point that we have in mind? We will be successful when graduates can get a global level job. It's not a standard that we are setting. There's a global expectation of what is a junior level machine learning engineer, what can they do? And there's unfortunately no shortcut to get there. And so what I would recommend is, if you're starting with very few skills, then look at our prerequisite criteria and learn Python, learn SQL, and there's plenty of free resources there. Statistics and linear algebra is okay, but start with the programming fundamentals. And there are hundreds of very free resources. And if you keep putting in that effort and learning, then absolutely you can attend the program. If you have very few skills, people have been successful in the past, but it means that you just have more to learn. I'll use the six-pack analogy again. If somebody, I don't know how you say six-pack in Kenya, Rwanda, but
Everest would know. I do not have no idea.
But six pack barazizi no mu kinyarwanda ni six pack. So kugira ngo six pack
it's like six pack.
But
ukora cyane.
It's the same thing. If you want to run a marathon and you're very overweight at the start, it doesn't mean that you can't run it, but it's just more difficult. You have to lose the weight first. There's no shortcut.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I know for people who are saying that internet is a challenge, this is what I'm going to share with you. We do have employment service centers, and I know that they do even help in streaming these sites. For people who are listening to us and they are at the employment service centers, please also share with us a comment. In these employment service centers, we have one in Kigali, Kimihurura, and we have one in Musanze and one in Huye. These are all places that you can go to make to get internet access. There's full internet access. You can use it and it's free. There's different spots here in Kigali where you can have access to free internet. So again, it comes back to that commitment. How much time and effort are you willing to put in to make sure that you adopt and get this opportunity? Someone says that I'm skipping any question, but if I'm skipping any question, please remind me, because we have a flow of questions, but I'm trying to not skip any. And I think that's all we have.
So Lydia, I just wanted to emphasize what you said. It's exactly the message that we want to convey. If I think there's many people who have recently graduated and they don't know what they should be doing next. It's a big, difficult world. Where do I get my first job, and how do I get a good job which is on a high growth pathway? And our offer is to make that not easy, but at least clear. If you are willing to put the work in and follow what we recommend, then we have mapped out that pathway to get a good global level job in the AI and Web3 sectors. But it is a lot of work to be done, but it doesn't have to be the feeling of being lost or not knowing what to do. We've worked with employers and mapped that pathway back and said, this is what you need to do.
Yeah, we're running short on time, but let's Shadrach is asking, which time zone do you operate in?
The first calls, our core hours, we have 6 core hours per day. It's 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Kigali time, which would be 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. Kenya time. So we operate, we want to work from West Africa to East Africa. So we start at 8 a.m. GMT or UTC.
For those interested but not having the materials like machine or 15 GB, is there any support? I think I responded to that. The employment service centers, they do have the laptops, they do have the internet. So please find a way of getting to the centers, and you have full access, internet and laptops. They are all available. Can I provide a link? We've shared the links on here, and I'll go back and attach them to our YouTube channel. That's Skills Rwanda. In the description, we'll have the link for both 10 Academy website, and you can also check them out. And I'll also share the link for the training so you can apply. Those 2 places, we'll share the information with you.
Maybe we can also share the email address, train@10academy.org. If you have any further questions, you can reach us by email.
Yes, we will share that. Please continue the conversation. These sessions are recorded and they will stay on here. If you have any questions, please keep them coming. We will go back to them. I usually go back to them. And if you have a question, you can always go back and look at the session and answer them. You can reach out to Arun and Everest. They are available on LinkedIn. I know someone asked how you can get in touch. I am available on LinkedIn, so you can also get in touch if you have any further questions. I think that's it from me, my side. Aaron, do you have any last remarks for our audience?
No, thank you very much to Lydia and RDB for arranging this session. We're really excited by the opportunity that we view this as an opportunity to find and create a pathway for those people who are really ready to get their first job at a global level job in AI or Web3. And we would say that it's a transformative opportunity. We are expecting a lot, but we know that there's some extremely brilliant, high potential, hardworking people who are just looking for a chance. And so if there's a fit, we would love to see your application and to work with you. So thank you everyone for your time. And the last piece of encouragement that I would give everyone is there are opportunities that are out there. One may just have to be persistent and be patient. But there are opportunities that are out there.
Absolutely. Employers are looking for people with the skills. So when you have an opportunity to upskill yourself, I think it's a really good opportunity to take that up. Everest, can we hear any of your last remarks? Is something you would like to share with our wonderful audience? It's been really active and interactive.
Yeah, thank you so much, Ridley. I will start by appreciating everyone who attended, and thank you so much for this time. So, and I believe that some of the questions probably haven't been answered. But as we mentioned, we have a website. You can visit the website. You can find our email, training@10academy.org. So where you can send the questions you really believe haven't been answered, so we can respond to you directly. So it doesn't really take much time to get the response from us. So I really appreciate this opportunity to talk to Rwandan students. Murakoze cyane.
Thank you, Everest. And I didn't want us to leave the session without acknowledging Allah's compliment or comment. He said, I was part of a similar program in other countries where IT capacity building training was conducted in a 2-month boot camp setup. The participants were headhunted for hiring immediately after graduation. So I think this speaks very much to what 10 Academy is doing. And I would just say, as a job seeker or as a professional who's looking to enter into the global workforce, you need to be competent, and here is an opportunity for you to be competent and to have the kind of skills that are rare and hunted for. And with that, I really appreciate everyone who's been able to send us any questions. The time is not being friendly, but let's take 2 more questions as we depart. So, Jarrett, Arun, do you want to take this on?
Sure. So we're looking for people who are comfortable with functions in Python. They've written a few simple pieces of Python code. Ideally, people have done some object-oriented programming in Python, but that's not necessary. So basic use and commands of function, loops, if commands. We have it's detailed in our application materials, but we're not looking for an advanced knowledge of Python. But if somebody was to enter and they've never used Python before, that'll be slightly challenging.
Thank you very much.
But very much an entry level.
Good. We do have another one from Isaac.
So Isaac, I think that's a great question. This is why we've moved to the 3+3 model. After the 3 months of training, what we recognize is people need to go back and decide what they want to specialize in. And that's the second part of the 3 months. Where does one want to go deeper? The job search phase must focus on one of the three specializations. And so I think everyone will be exposed to everything between, I would say, machine learning. It's not data science, it's data engineering, which is a different career. Machine learning engineer, data engineer, or Web3 engineer. And so people will be exposed to all of them, but they must choose one to specialize in and to focus their job applications in. And we can talk more later on about what is that job application process is also part of the learning process.
Absolutely. This is all the time that we have. Please, if you have your questions, keep them flowing. And you see Aaron here. You can find him on LinkedIn. I can be contacted on LinkedIn. Anyone who needs my contact, just type in Lydia Ingabire. You just see me. If you need to contact Everest, he's available on LinkedIn as well. So reach out, connect. If you need more information, please. I think this is, we've come to the end of our session, and it's been wonderful. Thank you so much for the guests. You've been wonderful in sharing this opportunity. And thank you for bringing it to our Rwandan graduates. And our Rwandan graduates, all you need is determination. Anyone who's complaining about the finances, those who can be found. As long as you're determined and you go through the program, you will find the 100 USD, and you have the everything will fall into place. And thank you so much, everyone, for joining our session today. It's been wonderful. If you caught us leaving, please go back to our YouTube channel, that's Skills Rwanda, and you can view this session. It will stay there for you so that you can get all the insights. We will check out the 10 Academy website. They have all the information that you need. Thank you so much. Have a lovely day. Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Bye.
It's and